Hello, Astro friends. It's Melanie today on the 5th of February 2026, one day later than planned, since, as you probably also experienced, it's a very turbulent time. There's so much going on, there's always new things coming to be attended to. So it's really important to stand our ground and be very, with Uranus in Taurus, anchor the light, be well embodied, don't get swooped up in swirls of energy in this somewhat crazy and unpredictable and sometimes unsettling, surprising, even shocking time that we're having now with the Uranus turnaround. So, Uranus turnaround happened on the 3rd of February, just after the Leo Aquarius full moon. And yes, for sure, this week is very much um, affected by that turnaround. So Uranus takes a little bit to settle, so to say, if there's such a thing for Uranus. So at least for this effect, which is kind of very, it's electrifying effect. It's also unpredictable, as I said. It's also somewhat shaky and shifts and paradigm shifts and change of direction. All these things can happen quite a bit with the Uranus station at this point. And that's pretty much the main news, the main astro feature of the weather this week. I show you the chart for the full moon again, like last week. Here it is, and it's now playing out. Uranus in Leo was in Leo on the 1st, that's in bulk also, 1st of February, opposite the Sun. And Uranus, as you see here, in Taurus, almost in T square with that full moon. So that full moon definitely brought it out. And this is what we're talking about here, very end of Taurus. And yeah, that's why it's been lots of tension, lots of fixed tension, yet also needing an outlet from the Uranian side. What's a good outlet for Uranus? Good question in general, right? So Uranus is about freedom, breaking free, breakthroughs, and experimentation, and also awakening. So, waking up, sometimes we wake up um, from a consensus reality, sometimes we wake up from our own dream and la la land through wake up calls, right? And so much has been very shaky and wake up calls regarding what's going on in certain really corrupt systems when it comes to the whole Epstein file revelation lately. I mean, we've known it for a while, but now it's really out in the open. That's very Uranus also. What's you know out and now for everybody to see. So can't be hidden anymore. And yeah, and a lot of energy in general is you know in the whole energy field. It's quite a shaky, as I said, a shaky energy, and some people are on edge. So we need to be also patient from the Taurus side, grounded, and be in nature. That's also Taurus, right? Anchor all this energy. Let nature also help us process all the wired stuff that's going on these days. Uranus will be still in Taurus until April 25th when it enters Gemini. And that will be for the coming 7 years. We already had last year a preview from July 7th till November 7th, and you could have felt, or you could have noticed already, probably a lot of new thoughts, new concepts, and especially all the artificial learning factor is very much apropos Uranus in Gemini. So, not outsourcing our mind, our brain, our creativity to technology altogether. And for the time being, also as it's still in Taurus, not getting too immersed, and or I say the biodigital convergence is the kind of idea also with Uranus in Taurus, right? So technology comes into contact and even um, is being absorbed by biology, right? So that is, I would say that's alarming, and but lots of you are totally cool with that too. So yeah, freedom is the idea, right? So what would be a free choice around us? How we can, live with technology as much as we do in our daily habitual world as well, and how can we retain our biological autonomy in terms of also our own senses, being in nature without having a cell phone with us, and yeah, being present and not distracted and not disrupted all the time. And yeah, Uranus, a very important factor at this point. But as I said, it will ease up. Right now is the turning point, and I would say as well, we could already feel effects from after the next new moon, which will be on the 17th. However, that's also beginning of the eclipse season, and but the Uranus effect will not be as strong as it is just literally this week. Then, well, what else is going on? Mercury enters Pisces on the 6th. So Mercury is still in Aquarius, which was, of course, also a factor. Mercury in Aquarius, the sign of Uranus, has squared also Uranus. That was the case on, when was that the case? Actually, it's the case today, this morning. So that could have been also affecting our mind, not being very rested, to put it mildly. And yeah, kind of, I had also a little bit of a not so restful night, I must say. That was literally in the middle of the night with Mercury square Uranus. But also, it could have brought up new ideas, new, um, yeah, experimenting with new solutions and looking at the whole system that we were dealing with while retaining our freedom. And so Mercury will leave Aquarius, as I said, and go into Pisces on Friday tomorrow, and tomorrow afternoon, Friday the 6th, and will be in Pisces for a very long time until April 14th. Why? Oh, yeah, of course, you guessed it. Mercury will go retrograde. Mercury will go retrograde all the time, the whole retrograde phase in Pisces from February 25th till March 20th. So Mercury in Pisces is already different. So we need to be really flexible, fluid, intuitive, and tuning in and going with the flow rather than having a rigid concept in our mind how things should be. But it also can be beautiful for opening us up to other, to pick up energies from different dimensions, and also to be really absorbed in environments, and yeah, and it's also great for imagination, for creativity, for music, for anything that takes us out of our ordinary state. And wonderful for meditation, of course, also with Mercury retrograde, but also Mercury in Pisces, yoga. So communication happens on so many levels, and we can tune into that. So it's up to us now to relax and enjoy the ride. So especially also since the North Node is still in Pisces too until mid-August, inviting us actually into this Piscean, um, yeah, multidimensional mode of being, and into vibrational shifts, right? So when we are in a different vibration, things also look different. We have new ideas. We can, we connect with people, and that is also a whole different, is really important factor, right? To deal with things rather than being so closed and tight and being in the box, so to say. Mercury in Pisces, yeah, okay, so here we go. Then also this week, Venus does similar dances with Uranus as Mercury just a little bit later. Venus will be also from Aquarius square Uranus on Sunday the 8th, and then also enter Pisces on Tuesday the 9th. So more Pisces energy is coming in, more watery energy, but that also means very, a multi-dimensional connectivity and openness, right? With Venus, Venus loves being in Pisces. Mercury, not so much traditionally, but again, we can work with any of these energies if we just align and tune in rather than resisting and wanting things to be different than they are. And on the 10th, Venus goes into Pisces, her most beloved sign. She's exalted there, best positioned in the zodiac traditionally. That will go until March the 6th, so not very long. But again, it's a wonderful time for connection, for openness, for synchronicities, also as Mercury is in Pisces, and to actually really open up to the bigger love, to cosmic love, oneness, connectedness, rather than the one-on-one dynamics or the attractions on all these more, yeah, the regular levels, right? So Venus in Pisces exalts and elevates us. So these three factors are the most important ones this week. What else is going on with, where are we in Aquarius? We're still in the second decade in the central part of Aquarius until the 9th when we enter the third part. So the second has also an Aquarius undertone. And that is a lot about systems, freedom, community, humanity, and again, quick reference to the Epstein files, very apropos. Then the third decade from the 9th to the 18th, the last 10 days, will have a Gemini undertone. So now, then it will be also a lot about communication again and about information, while we're still dealing with Aquarian themes. And what's going on with the moon? The moon is now in Libra as of this morning. Yeah, out of Virgo, which was an extra effect yesterday. Moon in Virgo, Mercury, ruler of Virgo, square Uranus. Mercury, ruler of Virgo, in the sign of Uranus, squaring Uranus. As you can see, right? Really nervous energy. And today, Moon in Libra. Much nicer, easier, and more, really looking at win-win situations, at, um, helping each other also, and seeing how we can, be in right relationship with one another. And it's a beautiful dance that way. And also very important to note that we really need balance, peace, harmony. And this is also what the moon can take us to, and it's important to nurture that, nurture ourselves and others with those qualities. Then the moon goes into Scorpio on Saturday, the 7th, in the morning, 11:13 a.m. Pacific. So from Libra to Scorpio, I call this cusp the tipping point because it's about choices leading to change. It's about decisions, which I like to call choices because they are, right? So the choices come up in Libra. In other words, also now the question is what's compatible, what do I choose, whom do I choose to be with, and what is really a good match for me on many levels for our choices. Then, as I said, Scorpio, then we go into the change with those choices. And we might process also things on a deeper level, which is natural for Scorpio. And it will be the half moon because the moon will be in Scorpio, the sun in Aquarius, and that will be exact on the 9th in the morning. So Sunday, Monday is that exact half moon. And that can make things a bit intense again. But it's also great. I just realized I have a call scheduled with a friend in Europe. So it's a wonderful time to process together with friends, right? There's a Scorpio Aquarius, right? And yeah, and at the same time, the moon in Scorpio, yep, will be also opposite Uranus. That will be one more of these kickers, so to say, on Monday when the moon in Scorpio, where it is technically challenged, squares Uranus in Taurus, where that one is also challenged. They oppose each other, and Uranus is still stationary somewhat on the 9th. Yep, I would say so. So keep an eye on that on Monday. Yeah, possibly Sunday. You could notice it already to yeah, allow maximum freedom for one another, for oneself, rather than going into emotional control mode or being somewhat obsessed with things and getting too intense about things. So allow, and also asking the body. This is very apropos. Taurus, Uranus in Taurus. What does the body say? The body sets you free. Embodying freedom is Uranus in Taurus as well. Okay, and then the moon goes into Sagittarius over the Phoenix point, close to midnight on the 9th, Monday the 9th, and will be in Sag until the 12th in the late morning as well. So this Astro week goes to the 10th, and yeah, so Sagittarius moon after Scorpio is usually a very uplifting energy where we've come through processes, we come out on the other end, we see, we understand, we also experience more freedom, more, yeah, as this is an opening in that regard, right? And so this is it for the Astro weather this week. You can, of course, always read things up either on my daily posts on Facebook, on Instagram, if you're on these platforms, or also in the newsletter that I sent out the last one for the full moon in Leo Aquarius. And yeah, and of course also in the Astro News articles, right? When I write one, that's the next one here is coming out for Venus going into Pisces and Mercury going into Pisces. That's in the making, and of course always with the overall weather that surrounds it. I wish you a beautiful week and happy integration of this Uranian turnaround. Ciao.